Hey there guys, there appears to be this new situation about Assassin's Creed of where it's been exposed that a new Assassin's Creed game got cancelled due to racial tension from Assassin's Creed Shadows, and since it was getting attention, I decided to look into it and see what I can find. The Assassin's Creed game in question is a part of something called Codename Project Scarlet. It was based on the Civil War and Reconstruction era, which would take place in the 1860s to the 1870s. So this game would have gone back to America and see the story about a black man who was a slave in the South but moved to the West to start a new life, and later he would join the assassins and go back to the South to fight the KKK. This was supposed to be what the game was about, and it does sound like a good idea. The whole thing is extremely silly if you ask me. The whole situation stems from Assassin's Creed Shadows and how much backlash they got because of Yasuke being in the game. So now this whole new situation is about a new cancelled Assassin's Creed game that was supposed to have a black protagonist, and Ubisoft's reason for cancelling the game is because of the amount of hate that Yasuke got in Assassin's Creed Shadows. So now they said that because of the current political state of America, that they wouldn't want to bring a black character into such an environment. Which, to be fair, makes sense to a certain degree. But you're telling me that you don't want to create a black character because you're scared of what Asmon Gold, Andy Pants, Endymion and Synthetic Man might say. That is a very poor excuse, because the other thing is, when have any of the people I just mentioned had anything good or constructive to say about a video game? The truth is, for the most part, there's always been black people present in Assassin's Creed games. Even as small of a role as an NPC in the first game, but as time went on, black people got bigger and bigger roles in the game, to the point of where we had full Assassin's Creed games based on black characters. Some of the most iconic characters in Assassin's Creed are black people. For example, Adewale, and his story is about him starting in slavery and going on to be an assassin. Now people are calling black characters in video games woke, when Assassin's Creed, for a long time, has always had black characters. Some of the most iconic characters in the Assassin's Creed franchise are black people. As far as Adewale goes, the most popular and iconic black character in the Assassin's Creed franchise is Bayako Siwa from Assassin's Creed Origins, which Assassin's Creed Origins is seen as the game that saved Assassin's Creed, because the game came out at the time when Assassin's Creed was at its lowest point, and it brought the franchise back to life. The general reception to the news of this cancelled game is one of outrage and anger, and rightfully so, because a lot of people were very open to the idea of getting a new Assassin's Creed game based in America, and the time period or what people would have loved to see. The other question is, why is Ubisoft letting people who don't play their games dictate the type of games they make? Sure, I have not been the most positive about Assassin's Creed, but objectively speaking, their latest games have been bad, and surely the people who are saying negative things are people who are not fans of the franchise, right? Because a lot of people did jump on the bandwagon when it came to Yasuke and Assassin's Creed Shadows. People who have never touched an Assassin's Creed game were now weighing in, and the fact of the matter is, nobody asked you, and no one wants to hear your opinion, and nobody should take your opinion seriously. I am really frustrated because I feel like I keep repeating myself. I feel like I keep having to say the same things, and don't worry, I know some of you have rolled your eyes already, but I don't make the news, I just report it. It seems Ubisoft can't make real stories anymore. They would rather make a game about a witch with magic powers than a person with a real story that is facing real problems. And now people are trying to make this whole situation about politics and race, and of course, this is the direction that controversy thrives on. Now they want to do it again. They are so afraid to make a black character, yet they have done it before, and now they are scared to make a black character because of social media. I made a video about why black people don't belong in video games, and this is what I was talking about, so it feels like I might have just predicted this. The worst part is that Ubisoft is listening to online trolls who just said everything. People who disappeared as soon as Shadows came out and moved on to the next thing to hate. The thing about these online trolls is, they are not the people buying your games, and they are not the fans of the franchise, but yet you cancel a game just because of them. The facts don't care about your feelings, and nor does history. You can't change history and the things that happened back then. Another thing is, history is very dark. There are many dark times in history, and Assassin's Creed has always been a franchise that makes games about history and historical events. This is the bread and butter of Assassin's Creed. To take that away means to take the franchise away. This is why the RPG direction is so heavily hated on by the real fanbase. They don't want to play as superhuman demigods anymore, with a game that has anywhere from 60 to 250 hours of slop content in it. A good Assassin's Creed game is straight to the point. It tells you a deep and captivating story with a host of great and well-written characters that feel like real people with real stories. The one detail that I'm glad for the game's cancellation is that they want to make it RPG. The truth is, RPG doesn't work in every Assassin's Creed game, and to be fair, I think the franchise needs to be done with the RPG formula it has. Everyone wants the games to go back to the way it used to be. The games hardly make sense now, and Shadows is very clear evidence of that. Everyone is done with the RPG games, and the fanbase is speaking on a collective level. People are done with the RPG. They want a proper modern day story with a really great historical story, and that's all people want now. This is what the people who buy your games want, and if they know what's good for them, they'll give the fan base what we want. And with that, this is the Chilly Man signing off. I thank everyone for watching. Peace out.